Starmer will end up banning patriotic British marches, guaranteed, says Tony. You can see this writing on the wall. I think there's a lot to be said for that, because I think you can tell, because we know what Labour are like. We know where their true, you know, sort of loyalty lies. Their true loyalty does not lie to the people putting British flags up. Their true loyalty lies with those communities, as you said before, which are sort of running themselves without any interference from white middle-aged men.
Well, and they know full well so many of the front bench of the Labour Party's seats require them to basically kowtow and bend over backwards to appease and placate those very communities.
Yes.
I mean, you know, people like, that's why Jess Phillips, the Minister for Safeguarding Women, has never condemned any of the misogyny or the sexual aggression that emanates within those communities. Could it be because she depends upon votes in that community?
Yeah.
I'll let the viewers decide.
And funnily enough, Nick Timothy was tweeting over the weekend, the MP, a Tory MP, because he wrote a letter to Jess Phillips asking for the involvement now of the National Crime Agency in looking into not just the grooming gangs and the rape gangs in the north of England, but the complicity by the police, the complicity by certain council officials, which is now, as far as he's concerned, a sort of a criminal conspiracy. And she, of course, wrote him a letter back saying there's no need to involve the National Crime Agency because they've already been co-opted into the investigation. So she specifically doesn't want that to happen.
Well, I don't think enough people know. There was a very good chap called Roger Meir who's been a whistleblower about this, about how much the Labour Party in the north of England has been working hand in glove with some of these characters, these nasty characters, to essentially secure postal votes. You've had gangs of Muslims going door to door to communities where they can't speak English, saying, just give us your postal votes, often with a heavy there to make sure they do.
Just put it
and
in
then
the sack.
tranches of they just sign them postal votes, and tranches of these are then going over to the Labour Party. This is the rotten borough politics we thought we got rid of in 1832 with the Reform Act.
Yeah, but they brought it in from Pakistan.
Yeah, because the politics of Pakistan have been introduced into this country. There needs to be an inquiry about that. And what I find amazing is that this is not front-page story. I mean,
know.
We have not just gerrymandering, we have corruption in politics.
People want to shy away from it. They don't want to talk about it because it's, you know, as they call it difficult. It's a difficult conversation. It's not difficult.
It's not difficult at all.
Just talk about the facts.
It's
right?
a crime.
Well, I'll tell you what is difficult. David Lammy, I don't know what idiot came up with the idea of sending him to Manchester to speak to Jewish community leaders and members of the Jewish community after that murderous rampage by Jihad, the terrorist killer. Here he is at a Manchester vigil on Friday.
I have great pleasure in introducing our Deputy Prime Minister, David Lammy, and before I do, please, 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 we know how we all feel. We know how we all feel.
On the street. My children's school was closed today. You have allowed this to happen. David Lammy, you have allowed this to happen. You are all guilty of it all. You have allowed Jew hatred in Manchester on the street. You have allowed it. You are all guilty. You do not want you speaking here today. You do not speak. You defeated. Shame on you. 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 Shame on you.
And after that, they managed to quieten down the crowd, and he started. You know how he started his speech? Friends. And you just go, I mean, how completely tone deaf can you be? I mean, even if it says that on your little bit of paper, you might actually start by saying, look, I appreciate how you feel. I'm terribly sorry. I'm here to represent the government. You may not like some of the things I've done in the past, but I'm here to show solidarity. Something like that. But not just read off a script and
no
go, friends.
Whatsoever. And bravo to those people for calling out somebody who clearly is two-faced and disingenuous, because you cannot have made your career up to this point from attacking Israel, from doing all the things that he said, and then suddenly expect people to believe that you've changed your view on all of this. People know what he truly believes. And this is a wounded community. This is a community that's grieving. And the audacity of the Labour Party to send out someone like this to speak to them, I think, naturally sticks in their craw.
Yeah, absolutely right. He wasn't the only one. I think we just got a quick clip from John Swinney. He's up in Scotland, of course, leader of the SNP, First Minister at Holyrood.
Recognition of a Palestinian state, because I think it is the because I believe it. Because I believe it to be the necessary route to securing peace in the Middle East. And all of us.
There's a time and a place for these conversations, not on a vigil to mark the second anniversary of the greatest attack in the history of Israel on its people. That shows the fact that they live in these echo chambers where they've never been heckled for saying that sort of stuff. And there they are actually meeting people who are calling them out for once. And we need to see more of this sort of public shaming.
Definitely. And of course, you know, again, calling for the, you know, the establishment of a Palestinian state 24 hours after somebody who also wants that has murdered some Jewish people. You know, it just doesn't make any sense at all. Keir Starmer, meanwhile, is going to go to India, Rafe, on Tuesday to meet Prime Minister Modi. It says here he's going to reaffirm the shared vision of India and the UK.
Well, isn't it funny that he always tends to fly off somewhere when things are getting hot?
Yes.
Here, it's worse than sort of throwing a dead cat just to see him fly over somewhere else. We also know that actually it's with foreign leaders that he's the most popular. We know that he gets on very well with Trump. So he's very keen, it seems to me, to be seen with other world leaders who are more popular than he is to try to get some of that glow. But you know, you can only do that for so long. He also tends to go when the weather's not getting very good in this country as well.
It's so transparent. People just see through it. It also comes at a time when JLP Partners have put out a new poll just yesterday, 6,000 British adults, and it was 26th September to 3rd of October, so it covers pretty much the period of Labour Party conference, right? And it says, of the following, who do you think would make the better Prime Minister? And I'm afraid Nigel Farage is now leading it. 35% Nigel Farage, 34% Keir Starmer, 31% don't know. This contrasts with back in March, Starmer had a 10-point lead at 43% against Nigel Farage's 33%. So he's lost effectively a 10-point lead.
Yeah, and this was the last poll that showed Labour in a good light. So everything else they were failing, but in terms of being Prime Minister, Starmer had a slight lead. That's completely gone. Just goes to show that reform is unstoppable, because there's another poll out showing that even if the Tories replace Kemi Badenoch, any of her replacements, including Robert Jenrick, would fare worse against Farage than even Kemi Badenoch herself.
Yeah, I mean, Tory party conference is not looking terribly like a good place to be at the moment, even if you're a leader of the Tory party, because it's just there's just nobody. And I saw that Kemi Badenoch's speech yesterday. She was making it in front of a sort of a new slogan about strengthening borders, and you just think, you're having a laugh.
Well, the thing is now, you know, the Tory party is now in the same territory as the Lib Dems and the Green Party. They can say whatever they want to. They can make any promises they want to, because nothing's ever going to happen with any of it. You know, it's the centenary of Margaret Thatcher this week, actually. And that just goes to show you how great the fall of the Tory party has been. But they've got a big exhibition at the Tory party conference with some of her dresses, and I think there are more dresses of Margaret Thatcher than there are people attending the conference, actually.
I think that is the problem, isn't it? Absolutely dreadful. A couple of stories to mention. One in the Sun today. The BBC has banned the words mate and sweetheart. Probably not surprising. Page 13, I think it is. Yeah, apparently the BBC is banning its big name stars from using terms of endearment such as mate, sweetheart and silver fox in an apparent crackdown on free speech. Freelancers must fill in passports which warn against microaggressions, such as comments on people's accents or remarking on curly hair.
Well, I have a habit of calling everyone my dear, of calling ladies my dear, so I think maybe that's why I don't go on the BBC as often as
That would be one reason, It could be another reason.
Really? What would that be?
I don't agree with you. I mean, you can't be going on there. They don't like what you're saying.
No, but you know what? It's when you go to a place, especially if you're an outsider, you're coming into a TV studio, it puts you at your ease if someone is calling you dear or sweetheart in the makeup department or just the staff around there. I always find it very endearing. And it's also uniquely British. I know when foreigners come over here, they love the fact people are calling them sweetheart or dear. It's part of the character of this country.
Exactly right.
Especially London.
And to tell people, because it was only recently, wasn't it? It was only last year with Sadiq Khan. They did that ridiculous thing about if your friends are being misogynistic, you go, mate. Remember that? You know, mate, what you doing, mate? I presume they'll have to can that now.
Where all the misogynists were young white men and they'll be told off by ethnic minorities.
Yeah, exactly right. Mate, don't say that. The other one I like is on page 25 of The Sun. A number of OAPs admitted to hospital for snorting cocaine has soared by a third in 2 years. Several people in their 90s apparently being admitted. I mean, there's obviously plenty more life in the old dog yet, as they say.
Well, they don't make them like they used to, because I think drug use has gone down amongst teenagers. So how we know where it's going is going to people's pensions.
It's like that film Little Miss Sunshine. Do you remember where the grandfather was snorting cocaine in the back of the family car as they were sort of driving across the Midwest, and he eventually had a heart attack and died? Quite a funny movie.
Is that dandruff, Grandad? No, it's not.
No, it really isn't. And finally, I think we've got the pictures of James James Bond. They've reworked James Bond. So apparently all of the posters for old James Bond films, which normally show people like Sean Connery, Pierce Brosnan, and even Daniel Craig with guns in various ways, shape or form, they've airbrushed the pictures to take the guns out.
It's the man.
So James Bond is a man with no...
The man with a missing gun.
Yes, there it is. So there's the first one with GoldenEye, holding a big gun with a bit of a silencer on the end, Pierce Brosnan. Dr. No Gun. Dr. No Gun, they could call that. What's going on?
But the crazy thing is the 007 logo is a gun itself, and they've kept the logo in as well. The thing is completely stupid.
This is the thing, isn't it? This is why these revamps never work, because it just looks idiotic.
Well, what do you expect you're going to get when you watch a James Bond film?
I mean, he's got a license to kill. What's he going to kill
If you don't
with?
like guns, you might click on that, watch the film, and then you have a heart attack.
Yeah, be really shocked. And license to kill. So what are they going to change the phraseology as well? License to slightly injure? Or license to make it a citizen's arrest?
Dr. No Guns, as we have there.
Dr. No Gun is very good, yeah. Gold. I mean, it's just mad, isn't it? Ridiculous. Anyway, listen, Rafe, great to see you. Thank you very much indeed.